Currently going live on Facebook. Pull up on Nomtando Keith Ngesi Radio. Did you need anything? Oh, nothing. Currently going live. Pull up on Nomtando Keith Ngesi Radio. It's definitely radio according to you. Atfuna ungatsho ke into bona ke mandizibulsele ku weekend kwamkele wena kusanda usijoyina enqubeni. I go by the name of Uvuyo Mdingi, and I'm not alone. I'm with two people. I'm with a couple, in fact. I should be with my other half, my better half, but things don't work according to what we want. Remember, you're streaming us live from www.kithngcradio.com. But also, let me just give them the platform to say hello to our listeners.
Good afternoon.
Uh-huh. All right. You just want to keep it simple and plain like that. Let me just introduce them with Colin and also Sharon Bosch. Colin is the club captain of the Old Selbonian Roadrunners, and then Sharon is the president of the Old Selbonian Roadrunners. Sharon, if you'd be so kind to tell us a little bit more what a president does. I know I didn't give you that question. I just wanted to put you on the spotlight.
It's basically to see that the club is kept going. To keep everything together, we have a committee. I have a committee of a total of 10 people, and it's basically just to see that everything is kept in order in the club, that we have all our licenses in order, that we have club runs, that we have people serving on the committee that can organize races, and just to ensure that we all have a wonderful club that we all enjoy, and we run. It's to keep running.
It's just to keep running, to keep fit, and to keep healthy. And coming to you, Colin, tell us a little bit more what you do, what a club captain does.
Okay, well, I apply my 30, 40 years running experience.
Oh, really? That's amazing.
Yes, after a rugby player, I think we all end up on the road.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so I do take care of the physical side of it, to motivate the membership, to put out a running training guide. We focus mainly each year on year. We start with the Buffs Marathon for training. That starts November the year before. Then we move on to Two Oceans Marathon, and then the big one, Comrades. Then we have through the winter break, and then we recover for the rest of the year, so to speak. But we keep running.
Lovely. So are you both runners? Sharon, do you also run? Are you a runner? Are we at a home of runners?
Yes, I am a runner.
Amazing. It's really amazing to do something you also part of. It's really amazing. But today we're talking about the boys who are off to take on the London Marathon. It's been over 20 years. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, if I can remember that far back, there were a group of runners from Old Selbonian Club that went over to run the London Marathon. I'm not sure if they got in via the lottery or if they went with a sports tour. It's not that easy to get in unless you're an elite athlete, or if you're lucky to get in with the ballot system. But the ballot system is very tough now to get in. Yeah.
All right. So you don't just, if I'm capable to run or able to run, or I wake up every morning to run, then I just come up, I want to go run. It's not possible.
You can either go with a sports tour company, which is quite expensive, or if you enter the lottery. But like I've said, I know people who've tried for 8 years and they still haven't got in yet.
Right.
It's about, I think the percentage that get in via the lottery or ballot system is about 4%.
Amazing. I'm hearing things I didn't know. I've been interested in running because we do want to try out something here at Keith Ngesi Radio, but you just don't know where to go or where to start. Since you guys are part of Old Selbonian, you're the president. So if a person wants to get in, I heard you spoke about it, but a lot that is very hard to get in. But what does a person do? They need to come first, maybe for trainings or take part of the marathons. What does a person need to do in order? We're gonna get to the boys now, but I just want to understand. I need an understanding as to if I want to be part of the team, part of your family, the running family. How do I do that? How do I go about doing that?
If you're talking about being part of the Old Selbonian Club,
yes,
then you just need to run, to come along and run.
And just run.
Just to be able to run. So, we cater for all runners, whether you run 5Ks, 10Ks, 20Ks. As Colin said, he has a program and he'll get you fit and he'll get you there. I'll get you to the comrades if that's where you want to go.
Amazing, amazing. And he got the boys to go there. Tell us a little bit more about the two young men who are off to take London. That is Uyanga Nomalikolo, because I understand that they're from different clubs. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Okay, Malikole is part of Old Selbornian Road Runners, and he's been a member for about 8 years now. So he's been with us for a long time, and he has steadily improved over the years and just got better and better. And that is through training, a lot of training. He's a very dedicated runner. He's very passionate about his running. He is currently coached by a lady by the name of Colin Zimmerman.
All right.
She's looked after him for quite a few years. She takes him to Hogsback to do quite a lot of serious training over there. So you know, he's an elite runner. He's a passionate runner. He's got a very good time already. I think his best time is 2:18 at one of the marathons. He's come 11th at the Two Oceans Ultra before, or that was last year. So he's a very, he's an elite runner. He lines up with the elite at the start of these big runs. It's his first international run, obviously. Younger Malusi, he's part of Real Gajimas. I stand to be corrected, but I think he's been part of Real Gajimas for about 2 years. And he has only done one marathon so far. So this is his second marathon.
And he's going to London.
Yes.
Amazing.
But he's also running extremely well.
Amazing indeed. But I want to know your involvement in this in the boys, because they're from two different teams. One is yours, and the other one is from the other side, Old Kitchemas, right? Tell us about your involvement in getting them together. That's the question that Ukanya posed to me, and I'm like, I don't know. Let me rather ask them, what is your involvement in getting them together and getting them to London?
Okay, Malakole and Younger are rivals in running because the one is either first, the other one second. They always breathing down each other's necks in all the races.
All right.
So how this came about was the Brian Cotello Sisa McKinney Foundation that is based in London is a charity organization that they are funded by South Africans, and they then get charity entries for the London Marathon. And they then have people in South Africa that scout for athletes that otherwise would never get to the London Marathon.
All right. Yes,
so
I get
they
you.
scout for them, but it obviously elite athletes that are previously disadvantaged that will not have the means to get there. So I was approached by the South African agent and via Board Athletics to ask if we would be able to assist these two guys to get them to London. Would we as a club be able to assist Malakole? And I think their club probably got the same phone call.
All right.
So I said, yeah, most definitely we'll be able to assist. And then I heard Younger was going as well. And we said, we'll go ahead and we'll start with fundraising, whatever we need to do.
Amazing. Just let's leave it there, because you're gonna answer my next question, and it's gonna be like the interview was short. So coming to my next question, you couldn't do it all alone. I'm sure that's how it is. Tell us a little bit more about the people who have assisted in ensuring that the boys live properly. Talk about sponsors. Talk about everything.
Okay, so how eventually, the start of the fundraising, when we heard that they were going to there were two of them going, and we knew we had to fundraise. And we were actually sitting at a race in Mdansani when Colin had the bright idea of, let's have a fun run for both of them, because we know how difficult it is to raise funds. So let's combine it, and then we get the whole running community to come out. So I think it was about 10 days, we organized a fun run for the two of them. And it was just a fast downhill sprint, and everybody loved that. And we had about 200 runners for that, but people were all just donating. We actually raised just under 22,000 rand for that run, which we split between the two of them, and it was really well supported. So that started off the fundraising. We opened back a buddy accounts for both of them. That never did that well.
Okay.
But we had raffles. We had buy blocks, which is also a sort of raffle. And then we were extremely lucky when Slimzy, which is
the major
Sport, which is produced by Dynamic Brands in East London, approached us and said they would like to sponsor the flights, which is a major cost. They
Yeah.
sponsored the local and international flights for both guys,
Lovely.
and they also gave them clothing. They did photo shoots, so they were the main sponsor. We then had the next obviously the Brian Cotello McKinney Foundation. They paid for their visas, so that was a big cost that came off as well. They are being accommodated by Brian Cotello and Sisa in London.
In
They're
London,
staying
yeah.
with them. They're taking them around everywhere there. They're feeding them, so that's a massive amount as well. We then had so we started with a fundraiser with a running. We had Robust Engineering sponsored cash specifically for Younger. They've been sponsoring him his trips over the last year or two. They
Okay.
sponsored clothing for him. We had travel gear, sponsored suitcases. We had
Oh, nice.
payroll
I saw that.
services,
Nice.
payroll services, backpacks, border athletics, specifically Sicelo Pongoma. He sponsored clothing for them, golf shirts and nice jackets.
Nice.
I've not missed anybody out. We had, I should put glasses onto the next one.
No, that's okay.
Runaway Sport in Pretoria.
All right.
Werner, he sponsored a pair of racing shoes for each of the guys. Those shoes came to 10,000 Rand. Very good shoes. So he sponsored that for them. We had a Disrac. Disrac sponsored their transport from East London to PE to go and get their visas.
Yeah.
We had fellow runners.
The way the community came together. it was
That's
unbelievable.
what I'm getting at, Colin.
Yeah.
It takes a village. It really takes a village.
There were a couple of the clubs that put in money to cash for them to add to the funds that were raised, but everybody is just so they are just so supportive, so happy for everybody, for the two runners. So it's
They're such likable guys. It was an automatic.
It just happened.
Yeah.
it just happened.
It felt right.
The racing calendar is so busy, and so to get in 10 days to get that fun run in
10
such a
days,
short
just
time.
10 days.
Yeah, and it was incredible. And remember, South Africans, when we go overseas, that exchange rate, so all that excess, it's a very costly trip.
Amazing indeed. What I'm taking away in Pulapon on Time Keeping Is Radio is the mere fact that a community can do a lot for people. If we come together as a community, I was about to say, hey, let me just go be runner for Old Selponians because they're doing amazing things. Should you want to join, we're definitely going to let you know what you can do. Or we've already done that. You just come and run. But also, again, should you want to ask any questions, post them on our Facebook. We're currently live. It is Keeping It Radio. And also, our number is 0661372723. Let me repeat that down in case you didn't get it. 0661372723. Bring your comments through. Ask whatever you want to ask about the boys or about them, because they're here for them and they're here for the boys. Which comes to my next question, and it's directly posed to Colin. I want to know, how did you contribute in ensuring that their physicality or their physique is just about right for traveling, it's just about right for getting there and actually racing and being part of the marathon and actually probably maybe winning? I just want to know that part.
Okay, no, I will be honest. Malakole and Younger, they so in such a professional mindset and above the rest of us,
which made it easy.
So we lay out a basic training guide for the general group, to do an average marathon and so on. So as you are more skilled and you've got more talent, you will take it a step higher. And that is when both of the youngsters, they would seek external guidance from professional coaches, Corin Zimmerman in Malakole's case. But you see the distances, I mean, where we might average between 70 or 90 Ks a week, they are averaging over 200 Ks a week. It's
amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Because I once tried, was it 10 kilometers? I couldn't wake up the following day. I had ran just 2 days. I was getting ready for the 10 kilometers. I trained for 2 days and then I ran 10 kilometers. Couldn't wake up the following day. So that's why I wanted to ask, how did you ensure that? But when you say their mindset is already there, when you love what you do it effortlessly and you speak about it effortlessly. And also, coming towards, we're not at the end, but we're coming towards at the end of our interview. What would you advise to young people who are not taking the running or the how do we put it, the running space, what is the running space, but the running space, young ones who don't take it seriously, because we've got a problem of kids who smoke, who don't go to school, who do not want to go to work. I mean, Younger, for instance, he's a young, he's also, he never knew, I'm sure he never knew he could be part of such a big marathon. What advice would you give to a young, I don't want to say a young black, because each and every, we are suffering from that now. Our kids don't want to, they don't want to learn, they don't want to work, they don't want to do anything. What would you advise to a person who would like to come forward and just try out this running thing?
What I have learned from our personal experience, and I know it's human nature, that if you get an agreement with a mate or a buddy and you agree that we're going to take on running, if you're a novice, must advise that you will have to start walking for the first 3 or 4 weeks. Only
That's what I
walking
want.
builds your bones, otherwise you're going to pick up injuries if you don't start early. But my main point would be, what I have seen is, if you're in a running group and it's 6 a.m. the next morning, and you know that if you don't arrive to that training session, you're letting your buddy down. So it's building unity, it's building relations, and it's discipline, that you will not let your partner down.
No, I hear
And
you.
also, advice I can give is, never be afraid that you won't be able to keep up, or you won't be able to run, or you won't be able to wake up the next day. It's baby steps. If you're going to start walking, eventually you get to run the 1K, the 2Ks, the 5Ks, the 10Ks. So every day you get fitter and fitter and fitter, and eventually you will surprise yourself.
Then it's a new drug, and it'll be addictive to running.
You will wake up at exactly 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock, you are up.
Run, yes.
And you go run. There's a very, it's not silly, but it's a question I've always wanted to ask. All right, I'm a gym fanatic, but I'm lazy at times. I like going to gym, but I'm lazy at times, and sometimes I feel like let me just not go. But I wanted to know, because when we talk about running, right? I heard I had a trainer back, I think 5 or 6 years back. I had a trainer who trained me at gym. He used to say, just use the lift, the what. Don't go to the treadmill, because it decreases your glutes, or it messes up with the glutes. I want to know a little bit more about that, because at gym, you tone up your body with these things, with the equipment. And then when you run on the road, you're just running, chasing something you don't even know. But it's a nice thing, that I must say. I'm not, no pun intended. It's a nice feeling. It's a nice thing to do. I do it. I want to know about the glutes. What's the effect? What does it affect on the glutes? I think it's directed at Colin. It's yes, it's directed at him.
You got me by surprise, and I must be honest, I haven't done more than 3 kilometers on a treadmill.
Okay.
I'm not aware of a injury-prone type of scenario where it would
affect
different muscles.
Yeah.
That wasn't even part of my question. I was just interested in knowing, because when I run, people say, well, even when I run on the street, they tell me, you just need to go tone down at the gym, because you already have a nice body, nice shape. You just need to go tone down, because the more you run, the more the glutes are going away. I'm not sure what a glute is. I tried to research. I'm not sure what it is. But last but not least, before I thank you for honoring the invite, what would you say your most amazing or most memorable moment as the president and the club captain of the Old Selbornian Road Runners, or your largest achievement? Any of that?
Specifically the Old Selbornian Road Runners, or with the guys going to London?
Both. Let's start with the guys going to London, and then as the club at large.
With the guys going to London, last year, when we picked Malekole up after the Two Oceans Ultra in Cape Town, and we picked him up from his accommodation, and I said to him, Malekole, if you ever had to get to an international marathon, which one would you like to go to? And he said London.
Oh,
so when I got that call,
look at God,
and I said London, I called him and I said, are you sitting down? And I don't think he quite understood what I was trying to say. And he said, okay, yes, I'm going to sit down. And then I said, Malekole, you're going to London. And that was fantastic.
So you delivered the news.
So I delivered the
Jesus.
news. I said, please let me deliver it. So I delivered the news. And as a president, I mean, it sounds like a president of a country.
Yeah.
It's basically sort of just the mother at the club. As a leader at our club, or one of the leaders, I think one of the biggest challenges or biggest things that made me very happy was how we kept ourselves going through COVID. You know, when you weren't allowed to, you could run short runs, you could run around the block, or you could run together wearing masks. And we found ways, obviously within the law, to keep running going.
Yeah.
And we've got such a wonderful club with such a nice spirit and such a nice bunch of people. It's just wonderful to be part of the club.
That's lovely. That's lovely. What I loved most about what you just said is you saying as the mother, because when you work with people or when you're around people, you need to ensure that you work with what's in their best interest. Because I'm seeing something now from the paper that was out yesterday. Malixole spoke and said he hopes that his and Yanga's appearance at the London Marathon will allow young athletes from Buffalo City to see their dreams, that they are possible, and to prove to authorities in the city that running deserves investment. Does running really deserve investment?
It definitely does.
It does. Imagine it's your fitness, it's your well-being, it's your health, it's taking kids away from the streets, because running is also a hobby, something you can take as a hobby, something you can take as anything. It takes away. I see when it comes to sports that does really do good. It does bring change to our communities, because we see now BCM being represented in London by just two young boys being helped by these two amazing people in studio. I was chilling with Colin and Sharon Bosch. Dimbambing Hazards was meaning, I'm sure they don't even understand what I'm saying, but thank you so much. When I say Dimbambing Hazards was meaning, I mean, thank you so much for honoring the invite. We'll talk off air about how we go about going forward with bringing the boys in studio, because I'd really love to have them. Thank you so much for coming in. This is officially the end of the interview. We were talking about the boys who went to London, but they're going to come back in no time to talk about what they have in store for us. Remember, you tuned in at www.kithngesiradio.com, and also Facebook. We are currently live, but leaving the live stream and acknowledging our listeners who are in. Nomakwezi is in, and also Malikole Kalidin. Is it him? Oh, yes, that is our runner. That's why I want to acknowledge. Jabu is also in. Thank you so much for ensuring that the boys get to London nicely. I really don't know what to say. And also, we do have a listener coming in from Joburg. That is Nomakwezi Mafako Mkujana saying listening from Joburg. I don't know why they're not asking you questions, because this is their time.
I know who she is.
Oh, you know who she is.
She's one of the selectors for the two runners.
Please repeat that. She's one
She
of
was
the
one of the selectors for the two runners.
amazing. Thank you.
After selection, yeah.
Thank you so much for ensuring that the boys go, and we are definitely sure that they will come back with amazing news. Well, upon time to Kithngesiradio, must www.kithngesiradio.com. Currently